Good morning, folks. This morning's soap is from RazoRock, and this is Al Sapone Pope on a soap. Show you how this one came to me. I've got a few soaps that are like this, where they got an extra lid in there, if you will. That's what the soap looks like on the inside. It's a fairly soft soap. The scent on this, which I included down below, is see what, citrus, leather, and got a wood scent to it. And this one here came with 4.2 ounces of soap in it. It kind of varies, depends sometimes on when you get your soap, because I've got some that are 5 ounces. Kind of varies, I guess you might say. Got the almond block, no rubber band. Unscented witch hazel, that's mentholated. I got the matching aftershave here, and I think yesterday I forgot to mention, yeah, I'm still using this Shaven Sailor Beard oil off camera. I'm pretty sure I forgot to mention that yesterday. Got it whipped up here with a brush that's got a synthetic knot. The handle is a purple heartwood, and using the vanillin bowl again this morning. And let's see here. I originally hadn't intended on doing a video today, but I thought it'd be good to do them back to back. In that, yesterday I used the Supply injector, a nice heavy injector, if you will. And this one here would be the first time I've used this one. You may have seen a few videos from other folks using a what is referred to as a Schick Injector. This will be my first time use with this one. I planned on using it last month, and then a couple of DEs came in that I just felt compelled to go ahead and jump in there and do videos on them. Weight difference is totally different at the end of the spectrum. You've got one that's a very heavy weight, and then this one here is very lightweight. And the shave feel, in other words, have every expectation that it's going to be different. But still nice shaves, just different shave feel. I think I'm going to start using a different end here. For me, I do enjoy razors that got some weight behind them, but I always feel like it's a good thing to step out of your comfort zone. Learn how to shave with something different. And for me, something that's more lightweight is definitely out of my comfort zone for the most part. I've gotten a lot better over time as I continue using a lightweight shaver, whether it's a DE or even a Shavette, that things are different, and I get accustomed to using them and get better with my techniques with the razors. I enjoy the, I guess you might say, the journey of using different shavers. I guess you might say also improve my technique. The experience is different, and I seem to learn more by doing that. The scent is it's a lightly scented soap. I know some folks, when they first got it, reading, in case you might say back then, when it first came out, that a little disappointed in the scent strength. And it is lightly scented. It's there. And I know the last time I shaved with it, especially when my nose is working well, the scent is there throughout the shave. It's just lightly scented. And it's not everybody, I guess you might say, enjoys a real strongly scented soap. And the fact that it is lightly scented might be an indication for some. I guess you might say less chance of an irritation. I don't have quite that issue so far with a soap irritating my skin. I was getting ready for the shave, I was thinking how interesting that this shaver is, the Schick. If you're a person that drives these kind of vehicles like I am, I find this even dates the knob, because most vehicles that are stick shift are at least a 5-speed. I have, especially since Google Plus has made their announcement that they're going to be shutting down, or Google shutting down Google Plus, I should say, that it has been interesting what has transpired since then. In other words, a number of folks looking for a new home for their group. And I'll put a link again down below for this one that I've got started up. And I noticed that Don and I talked briefly yesterday about he's going to the same, I get it twisted in my head. I cannot keep it straight. I probably should just write it down and put a sticky note on the mirror. Yeah, I think it's MeWe. Or it's me. I get the two switched up, but anyway, I have a link down below. Looking for a place to, to migrate from Google Plus to move the shaving community to. And this one here seems to be pretty straightforward, easy to use. It's similar to Facebook in that you're going to scroll up and down for your content, as opposed to, depending on your screen size with Google Plus, whether you get 2 or 3 across your screen. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I like Google Plus, is the fact that I get more feeds going across my screen 3, so that way when I'm going down the screen, I see more at a time. And that seemed to work well for me. But once you get into a group, in other words, how many you see across the screen will be different, as opposed to just the main feed, I guess, if you will. It's kind of odd that all this came about, because I've been going through deciding on my Facebook groups that I'm a part of. There, it's like, a couple of guys had mentioned here recently about, being part of 45, 50 different groups. You can't pay attention to all that, and trying to narrow it down, and how many, even at 15 for instance, it's a chore to stay up with. So why stay in the group if you're not even going to be able to, and you say, manage it, if you will. So I've already left some, and I'm trying to figure out how to narrow it down even more so, which is not easy. Heck, at one point in time I was thinking about getting out of Facebook altogether, but the reason why I was there to begin with was for family. But I have noticed that some of those are on Instagram, and for me, to be honest with you, following folks on Instagram seems to be a bit easier, even though even that can get out of hand. But it seems to be a little bit easier for me to manage. In Twitter. And there is one thing, for instance, it's kind of like with the live shaves and Facebook, kind of fall in the same vein, if you will. And for me, it's because of the way I am. And I think it runs in the family, especially on the Smith side. Males, we have I can remember being at my grandfather's house, grandparents' house, granny and grandpa, dad's parents' house, and we would, the guys, would be in the living room watching the football game, and the ladies would be in the kitchen, dining room, at the dining room table. And football game would be on, and Grandpa's living room was rectangle in shape. So TV's at one end, long end, and we would be at the other end, more or less. And back then, of course, you know, this is before big screens came out, so TV was tiny down there at the other end compared to today's standard. And we would be watching football, and somebody would come in from the dining room wanting to talk about whatever the case might be, and nobody would hear her come in and say anything because we were all focused on that TV. You had to be if you were going to watch it, because, you know, face it, even a 25-inch, you know, at the distance that this was a tiny TV down at the end, and everybody was focusing on that little bitty screen way down there. So it kind of runs in the family, I guess you might say, of being able to focus on the one thing and ignore everything else that's going on outside of that. So like on a Facebook or on a live shave, I have a terrible habit. It's one or the other. Either I'm focusing right here or I'm focusing right there, but I don't do both at the same time. It's only one. And so I ignore all the stuff on the sides in Facebook, and then when it's a live shave, it's either I'm paying attention to the chat or I'm just watching the video, which means I'm missing out what's on the chat or vice versa. So just the way I'm made up, I guess. I was cursed from the beginning. Learned as a kid from all of my grandpa and uncles and whatnot, my dad, how we handled things back then. I learned early. So for me, sometimes watching a live chat, I miss out on what's going on in the chat. But that does bring up on the, I think it's MeWe, that there is a group chat function that's available over on the side, and at least you'll be able to catch up with it later, but it stays right there on the screen more or less. And if I'm not mistaken, that chat stays up on your screen even if you were to, say, like flip in between two different groups. If I remember right, it does do that, which is kind of neat. Social media. That is one thing, if you pay attention a little bit about the what they say about the group. In other words, what they do with your information or don't do with the information, the ease of getting signed in and whatnot, really, I guess you might say, led me to go there. Then it was easy for me to find out information on it. I don't remember what the name of this other social media place was at. It's kind of difficult to find information on it or how it worked, and that bothers me. It should be really upfront, easy to look at least get some information on it, and this one was in particular, it was not easy. I didn't spend very long at all. If I got to spend very much time trying to hunt around, trying to find out about it, to me it kind of seems like that ought to tell you something. This is a very lightweight shaver in comparison to the supply injector, but with the rest of these that are lightweight, especially if that's what you enjoy, because the supply, it is heavy, and for some folks that is not what they're looking for. They're wanting something a bit lighter, and this particular shaver come to me in really good shape, pretty close to being like new, outside the white and the print on the ball shifter there, but the rest of this is just like new. And as you can tell, this shave is rather nice. Don't have an issue with it at all. Matter of fact, this one here with the ball on the end is kind of nice. It actually works well. I was kind of wondering how that ball was going to work out for me. Easy going shave. Effortless. It's I enjoy these Schick injectors. For me, I get great shaves out of them. I understand some folks, you know, I'm pretty sure there's like only 2 different blades you can get. One's through Personna, whether it's rebranded or not. you got Schick. I guess because I ended up with some bum blades, and plus the price, I haven't visited them. I still got a few left in an injector dispenser over here. But with Schick, I think you only get, what is it, 7 blades in a dispenser. And with Personna, you get 20. And in 20, for me, I can get 20 blades of Personna injector blades cheaper than I can the Schick here locally. So, you know, yeah, there you go. You can see where I'm going with all that. Looking for the value. And Manny did mention it is time, it is getting a little bit long. He mentioned I'll be granting wishes here pretty soon. Witch hazel here. I really enjoy the menthol in this witch hazel. To me it makes a world of difference on my shave. Nice cooling effect after the shave. And it looks like it's about time for another haircut. That is one thing I'd have to say. I don't have a full head of hair. Haven't had a full head of hair in many years. But I cut my own hair in half for several years. Pretty nice. I decided one day I cut my hair, work it into my morning routine. I'm done. Don't have to go to see anybody. Or thinking I'm going to go somewhere to see somebody, like Steve was saying, and that person not be there. And it's like, oh, you know, if you got a full head of hair, oh, Jimmy was mentioning it too, how one part over here, how it got cut. When I was a teenager, I had those issues. Shortly thereafter, I lost most of my hair. It was coming out when I was young. This is a very pleasant scent. I did notice that even though Italian Barber is sold out of Al Sapone, but it does have that little email link on the side, blue one. Click on it, and like I say, it's there. It's light. It's not a heavy scent, and it's not an in-your-face scent at all. It's just lightly scented. I can smell it, which is pretty good for me on my nose today. It's working well, it seems like, at least for right now. For me, I go part way through the day, and the last half of my day, my nose will be shot. Don't smell a thing. Gets plugged up in a hurry. Yeah, that is pretty nice. This is a really nice scent, even though it is so light. It is a nice scent, and I don't think. Sometimes these products that's been around a while, you'll catch a year on them. Don't think there's one on this one here. But at any rate, this is, if you're looking for a lightly scented soap that performs well, this one here, as you can tell, it lathered up pretty easy. They didn't take a whole lot of effort. There's plenty of soap in the brush, much less in the bowl. I didn't put just a little more than a heaping baby spoon. Here, I'll show you. How big is my baby spoon? It's a baby spoon. It's not big at all. So about that size right there. Had a good shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.